Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Emily Marquardt, the Vice President of the senior class, and tonight I welcome you all to the home of the Comets. I am not alluding to the pit, our stadium where traditions have been cultivated and both athletes and spectators radiated with pride. Nor am I referring to the administration building that represents the faculty and staff who dedicate their lives to our success. No, in my eyes, the home of the Comets is within all of us. Our home is within each other. For the past 4 years, for some more, for others less, we have found strength in our differences. We have embraced art, music, athletics, and scholarship. We have faced adversity and triumph that the world has offered us with courage, together as one. Comets, this has been our home. It has provided us some of the most exquisite of gifts in life, from friendship to knowledge. When you leave here tonight, take with you what you have acquired here at Abington Heights, and remember what it means to be a Comet. Tonight, we come together as a class, as a family, as a home, to celebrate our own milestone, our own achievement, and that of the family, friends, teachers, and essentially the benevolent network of people that has led us to this moment of graduation. Please let the graduation ceremony of the 2017 class begin. Thank you.
Senior choir members, please join the concert choir at this time. At this time, would everyone please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, National Anthem, and Alma Mater. Please also remove your caps. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. please be seated.
Before I begin, I'd like to give a shout out to my grandparents who have come to watch me graduate today. They've come all the way from the great land of Scotland, quite a distance away, so thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan Rickwood. It feels like I've said this line 1,000 times before in all my introduction speeches. In all my student government speeches, and I'm assuming most of you are tired of hearing it from me at this point. I feel like a broken record that's been playing for the past 4 years. But wow, 4 years. 4 years. It seems like just yesterday I was standing up at the high school giving my 8th grade graduation speech. 4 years since we stood before you giving our student government speeches. 4 years since we struggled to open our lockers at orientation and then immediately forgot how on the first day. 4 years since we had our entire high school careers ahead of us. These past four years have been some of the best, some of the worst, but certainly some of the most interesting years of our entire lives. And for these past 4 years, the 5 of us up here have had the honor and the pleasure to represent you, the class of 2017, as your class officers. As class officers, we had a lot of responsibilities. We organized and set up fundraisers. We planned and put on certain events. We sold a lot of different items for the class, but sometimes I feel as though people got very confused about what we did and what we were actually allowed to do. Like when people would ask us if we could order better food for school lunches. Or could we make all Fridays no homework Fridays? No, we can't. Even Dr. Stroin told me that we should have a day where we cover the floors of the school in grease and slide around like it's a big slip and slide. Dr. Stroin. Doctor. While people did understand that we worked hard, I don't think people realized how much effort and time we put into being class officers. Countless meetings, countless fundraisers, countless events to plan, and countless people to call. And while I can say that four of us up here worked our butts off for this class, none of us even came close to the amount of time and work that one man put in. Austin Catania. Now, I don't think you understand when I say that Austin really put in the hours as president, like he worked. While we may have worked hard and done what we needed to be done at the time, Austin was always planning. He was always 5 steps ahead of the game with what events were coming up, what jobs we had to do, how much money we needed for certain things. He literally never stopped. Austin wasn't just a great president because of his dedication he had for his class, but because he was a people person. Like, have you ever talked to Austin Catania before? He has a way with words. Let me tell you, if we needed to get a better deal on something, Austin would just look at us with this sly Italian look in his eye, and he'd go, "Hey, yo, I got this." And suddenly the price would drop by like $200. The boy has the tongue of a wizard. I'm going to put this back here real quick because it keeps getting in my face. Okay. He also had weird connections. Every time we needed something like food or signs or just anything, we would scour the internet looking for good deals. But then Austin would just walk in and look at us and say, I know a guy. We didn't ask any questions, and we just went along with our day. Even though Austin gave up all this time and put up so much work for this class, he still had a life. Yes, amazingly enough, he was still a person. I even asked Austin to send me his resume, true story, to make sure he wasn't lying about being in so many clubs and different activities, but I shouldn't have doubted him for a second. I mean, this is Austin Catania we're talking about. Class of 2017 president, track and field pole vaulting hero, official chorus dad. Yes, that's actually the award he won. Newspaper Club, Freshman Leadership, National Honor Society, Northeastern Pennsylvania Choral Society, District and Regional Chorus member, co-captain of the boys soccer team, but above all else, the best Javert you will ever see in a Les Mis play. Even before Austin had displayed his fantastic leadership skills to me in student government, I had known long before that this man was destined for greatness. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it went all the way back to the summer of 2013, just before our freshman year. I was hanging out with a few of my friends, and the little Italian stallion himself just so happened to be one of them. We were all hanging out in my friend's basement when someone had the brilliant idea of playing one of the most intense, blood-pumping, and skill-based games there is. Just Dance 3. After about an hour of warming up or so with a few other dances, Austin and I decided we would try our hand at one of the most difficult dances in the game. The time of my life, the scene from Dirty Dancing. Oh, and we killed it. After hitting every move and scoring a perfect at every opportunity we got, it was time for the big finale, the lift. Now you may ask yourself, Johnny, how did a skinny guy like you lift someone in the air? Oh no, my friends. I wasn't the lifter, I was the liftee. I sprinted and jumped into the air as Austin caught me and held me upright. And I have never felt more secure in my life than when that man held me in the air. And I knew if this guy could carry me in this dance scene, he could carry this class to greatness. And it was in that moment I knew he was going to be our class president. Over the past 6 years I have known Austin, I can truthfully say he's one of the best guys I've ever met. He's genuine, sincere, kind-hearted, and above all else, cares for his school. And I've had the pleasure of serving alongside him as boys soccer captain and a member of the student government. But most importantly, I've had the honor and privilege of calling him my friend. Class of 2017. I know I speak for the rest of the class officers as well when I say this. But while some of you are eager to get out of high school, leave this place forever, and never have to see another one of your classmates again or hear our endless speeches, from the bottom of my heart, I will truly miss you. I said it before in my final officer election speech, but this class is special. Whether you or Dr. Sharrow thinks we are unique or not, we are. We have cultivated some of the greatest minds, the greatest athletes, but most importantly, some of the greatest people. Every little or big moment that we've had in this class is unique and different to us. From the freshman year semi-floodlight sit-in to the historic senior rec day Battle of Gettysburg that the white team won, cough, cough, even though Grace Evans and Anthony Dubosky cheated, cough, cough. I have loved every moment I have spent with you guys. Every memory and friend I've made, every friendly face I've seen in the hallway, every I'm tired and I don't want to be here anymore face that I've seen in the hallway, every laugh, every smile, and every tear. I will never forget you guys. And I know that your senior class president can say the same thing. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time, your senior class president and one of my best friends, Austin Catania.
Thank you, Jonathan, for that kind introduction. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of those joining us today. My fellow Comets, the day is finally here. The moment many of us have envisioned since we first stepped into the doors of high school. This commencement means a great deal to different people. For some, it marks a transition to adulthood. And for others, it means their little son or daughter will be living somewhere new come next fall. Saying thank you to those who help us get where we are today is a must. So without further ado, to our parents, guardians, and loved ones, thank you for your guidance even before we took our wee little first steps. Your foundation of morals and love has shaped us in more ways than not. You inspired us to do our best and supported us at our concerts and games. We are eternally thankful for all that you've done. To our superintendent, Dr. Mann, thank you for making sure we have a solid curriculum and stellar principals all across our entire district. Also, this year in particular, thank you for calling the snow days the day before the storm and not the morning of. To our teachers, thank you for challenging us critically. Thank you for adapting lesson plans to custom different learning techniques. You showed us compassion, you showed us discipline, and you fostered a love of learning and curiosity in our hearts. And thank goodness for your ability to transform us from a group of novices to wise fools to, somewhat knowledgeable people who take way too many standardized tests, to then seniors who, rule. To our administrators, thank you for always keeping us safe. Thank you for providing an environment where education and happiness are both valued. And thank you for making sure we always follow the rules, even though sometimes we didn't really want to. More specifically, I'd like to personally say thank you to our principals. Mrs. Tioni, thank you for your diligence towards our students' transition to the high school. Your hard work has made a difference in more students' lives than you've possibly ever imagined. Mr. Lemoncelli, thank you for your positive persona. Your response to my frequent question of, how's your day, will forever be remembered as better than I deserve. I think that serves as a prime example of the character you exude. Oh, and also the Darth Vader socks you wore on May 4th. Yeah, those are out of this world. Okay. Mr. Snyder, thank you for always believing in us, the class of 2017. Like many classes, we started off a little rough, but you saw in us what I believe we see now. You challenged us to be extraordinary, to prove to everyone that we are magnificent, that we are a class worthy of distinction. And I'd hope to say that we made you proud. Lastly, to the class of 2017, it has been an honor serving as your president for the last 4 years, a true presidential term. You've given me a multitude of experiences that have taught me a great deal about leadership, commitment, and respect. You have taught me how important every individual is. You taught me what it means to be a comet. You've truly made this the home of the comets. And just like a comet traveling through space, you will be, too, traveling out into the unknown. For the last 12 years, we have known exactly where we would be and what we would be doing come every fall. But as of today, we are beginning a new chapter of our lives and embarking on a new journey. For some, that means extending their education to college, a university, or a technical school. while for others it means entering the workforce or serving our nation's military. For some, this may seem like a daunting road ahead, but I hope I can relieve some of your worries. As I said previously, we are beginning our journey out into the unknown, precisely like a comet. For those of you who have never seen a comet, as it streaks across the sky, it seems to illuminate light until it is out of sight. To me, this is very promising. For just like that comet, our future is shining bright, and I wholeheartedly believe the class of 2017 is one of the brightest. For during our time in high school, the class of 2017 has gained district and even state rankings in mock trial, FBLA, PJAS. And in forensics, our members are even competing on the national level. In music, we have ranked on district and regional level in orchestra and band, and even to the state level in chorus. We have esteemed actors, actresses, and playwrights. And in the sports, we dominate all across the field. From soccer to football and basketball to track, we've compiled a multitude of district and league titles, often making ourselves state competitors. Academically, we have national merit scholars, competitive SAT scores, and a boastful list of honor roll students. We are extraordinary. We are passionate. And we are AH. Since this may be one of the last moments our class meets as a whole, I'd like to ask one of you one more favor. To participate in a little chant, I'm going to videotape this as well. We are. We are. We are. Thank you. And thank you, class of 2017. It has been an honor to serve as your president.
Welcome, family and friends. My name is Natalie Reed, and I served as the Student Council President for the 2016-2017 school year. However, today, I am not here to talk about myself and my accomplishments, but about those of a very special and talented classmate of mine. Allison Kane, this year's salutatorian, is one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I know. She is one of the few people who never complains about being in school because she takes each day as a challenge, an opportunity to expand her knowledge and to grow as a student. She is the ideal student that every teacher wishes for in their classroom. Now I will wow you with my rhyming skills as I explain to you why Allison is not only an outstanding student, but also a leader outside of the classroom. Allison truly deserves this praise. She has worked countless hours and days. While juggling cross country and softball, Allison has found a way to do it all. She is one of 3 scholastic superstars from our school. Now tell me she isn't cool. She's a member of the Science Olympiad team, medaling in all of her individual events. Her accomplishments do gleam. Allison is also very musically inclined. She learned how to play cello and piano. She cannot be outshined. She's been a member of the Honors Orchestra for the past 4 years. Now I think that deserves some cheers. To add to her accomplishments, she was named the NEIU Scholar of the Year, National Merit Commended Scholar, and she received the AP Scholar Award. She clearly never had time to be bored. Since high school math wasn't hard enough, Allison decided to finish early and take an online multivariable calculus class that would make most people's heads feel whirly. School is not her only priority. She has donated countless hours giving back through Habitat for Humanity. Allison's future is bright. She will attend Drexel this fall, where she will excel to new heights in a 5-year bachelor's and master's program in biomedical engineering. Now let's hear some cheering for our salutatorian, Allison Kane.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Good evening. First, I would like to welcome parents, family, friends, administration, teachers, and fellow members of the class of 2017 as we gather here to celebrate the achievements, memories, and bonds we have made over the course of the last 4 years. I'm very grateful to be your class salutatorian and could not let the opportunity pass without giving us all a moment to acknowledge those who have helped us get to where we are today. I'd like to give a well-deserved thank you on behalf of myself and my fellow graduates to all of our parents and family members. From driving us to and from a million activities to supporting us when we thought we couldn't survive another day of school. Thank you for being there for us from day one. Personally, to my parents and grandparents, I thank you for your unconditional love. You have always taught me to be the very best I can be, that nobody is perfect, and that a person should not be defined by only their successes. To our teachers, I found it is truly amazing how much of a difference you have made in our lives because of the care and dedication you bring into your classrooms every day. I have been fortunate to have many of you in class during my time at Abington, and am grateful for both the academic and life lessons you have taught. Although he's not here today, I'd like to thank Mr. DePerry, who has been my math teacher for 2 years. Merely being around a teacher with such character is enough to shape a person into a kinder, more humble human being. Having the opportunity to be in his class, I was not only able to learn more about math than I could imagine, but was also greatly influenced by the selflessness he displayed day in and day out. All of us who had the opportunity to learn from him understood just how big the little things could be. From a smile in the hall to help on homework, putting a little bit of effort into being kind to others can have a ripple effect across our school. When taking the time to reflect on what we are grateful for the past 4 years, I have found that it is often those little things that mean the most to us. And sadly, it is often those little things that we take for granted. We forget to thank our parents after they cook us a meal, or the person in front of us who takes time to hold the door. We take it for granted that our friends will always be there next to us, and might forget that in the few coming months, almost everything will change. The little things that bring us comfort and familiarity right now could soon be gone. We may never have another opportunity to thank those people who have made an impact on our lives, no matter how big or small that impact was. Taking that moment to reflect on what we are grateful for should not make us regret all of the times we have forgotten to be thankful, but should instead inspire us not to waste another moment. Choosing to be present in every moment allows us to take in all of the little things of life. High school graduation will only happen once. Our class of 2017 will never be all in the same place again. If we make a conscious effort to minimize our distractions, put away our phone, and realize there's no place we'd rather be, we can start appreciating the now. When we start to be present in our lives, we will automatically become more grateful for every little thing in it. In our society, emphasis has been placed on success, on climbing your way to the top regardless of how many people you step on. While being a hard worker and chasing dreams will always get a person far in life, I believe that it is just as important to display traits of kindness and gratitude. As Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, said, "One day you will understand that it is harder to be kind than to be clever." So, as we go throughout our day, I challenge us to take every moment in. One day, we will want to remember all of the little things about our high school graduation. One day, we will realize that it is better to be kind than to be clever. And one day, we will be grateful for the time we took to reflect on our lives and the moment we decided to be present in them. Thank you all for your time, and congratulations to the class of 2017. I wish you all the best of luck.
I have been told throughout my life that selflessness is the most important virtue an individual can possess. When one regards himself or herself before others, it is not just standard altruistic morality, but also makes someone a full human being. In the words of a great fictional dictator played by Charlie Chaplin, "Greed has poisoned men's soul, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed," end quote. Too often, human beings find themselves surrounded by individuals who are plagued with this disease, the cancer that is responsible for most of humanity's ailments, selfishness. The woman who I am about to introduce to you is someone who is not plagued by this disease. And by watching her and others like her, humanity may be hopeful in finding a cure. She has traveled all over the world to places such as Nepal, Bangladesh, and Israel, just to keep the list brief. These experiences have allowed her to grow, to love and appreciate other peoples, meeting them with understanding, respect, and pan-cultural values of kindness. While traveling, she taught underprivileged children in the hopes that they can one day better their own lives, others' lives, their community, country, and world. While most of her peers were out looking for employment at home, she employed herself at the heart of a Bengali child, an innocent being desiring knowledge and wisdom, maybe the greatest gift one can possess in the modern era. The way she interacts with her students in the classroom is something to be admired, and furthermore, something to be cherished. This woman treats all students, faculty members, and staff with the utmost kindness and respect. When speaking to my peers, I have yet to hear something about her that is negative. Although I have never had the pleasure of being taught by this woman directly in the classroom, what I have learned from her indirectly, I think will suffice. I have also been told throughout my life, the world owes you nothing. After spending time in National Honor Society, a club dedicated to service and developing the full student, I have grown to find these words to be false. The world does owe you something. It owes you kindness, just as you owe it to yourself, and you, along with all other people, owe it to each other. And while it may not always be given to you, it is your responsibility to keep the flame of altruism alive. The person who advises the NHS, by the way, is the woman I am speaking of. The woman who wanted to involve herself in the lives of students by promoting service. Service, kindness, and selflessness. Teachers teach you, whether they teach you or not, and this is one teacher who has taught someone without ever being their teacher. Only the best educators can do that. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Tarr, a teacher to not only our school and community, but to humanity as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack, for those wildly undeserving but incredibly kind words. I don't think you should be allowed to make people tear up before they have to speak. Good evening, class of 2017. I am so honored and incredibly humbled that you've given me this great opportunity. I've had the privilege of having many of you in my own classroom, and some of you have even got stuck with me more than once. So in many ways, watching you all graduate tonight is far more rewarding to me than any of my own graduation could be. What a great celebration of success tonight is. A success that was 13 years in the making. I've begun to notice that major moments like this one seem to put life into snapshots. We remember the heightened, adrenaline-driven, perfect Polaroid moment. And then everything that led to that great snapshot of success seems to be filtered out by the moment. And all those difficulties don't seem so bad after all. We remember the grand moment, and we forget the daily fight it took to achieve it. So for instance, this graduation snapshot filled with 2,340 mornings that you drug yourself out of bed to come to school. For some of you, far more difficult than others. Think of all the obstacles you had to overcome to get here, which really began those 13 years ago. Little you was picking out your cool new SpongeBob backpack when you realized that on that first day of school, you were going to have to ride that big, scary, yellow school bus. Somehow you overcame that great challenge, mom and dad too, and you made it to school. Fast forwarding a few years, and as you were getting ready to leave middle school or elementary school, you realized in middle school you were going to have to change classes. The absurdity of it. You had to have more than one teacher. You overcame that obstacle too, just as you were beginning to consistently overcome that challenge. And on 8th grade move-up day, when you were moving up to the high school, you realized that you would not only have to use, but implement the daily use of a locker. And yet, somehow, this week, as you spun that locker for the last time, chatting with your friends, haphazardly thinking about your combination, you popped open that locker door. At least most of you. And while some of those obstacles loomed in front of you as you transitioned between schools, for many of you, this moment had far more difficulties in it than you could ever have imagined. Along the journey, challenges shadowed the path. Some of them, not nearly as life-changing as you expected them to be. Some of you may have even predicted these grand dragons that you would have to slay along the way. Dragons that just never showed up for the fight. But some of you had very real and difficult challenges, and you overcame those stumbling blocks too, leading you to this snapshot moment. And so as you look at the snapshot of high school graduation, filled with those 2,340 days of daily challenges, struggles, joys, and successes. This is a great life snapshot, but it is just one. And your life will continue to be made of these great moments. And my purpose in showing you this is twofold. First, as you look at the past, take joy in these moments. You worked hard to be here. Don't just blow them off as a part of life. No one just handed it to you. You worked hard. So enjoy what tonight means, knowing that it was built upon moments and daily choices that led you to this. Secondly, we often think the future is just one giant snapshot of success after success. But the truth is, it's a lot like the past. Temporary successes and daily choices of striving. It is easy to get discouraged and frustrated. We're quick to quit along the way because it's far more difficult than we thought that it would be. But remember that the great life moment is made up of the myriad of difficult choices, challenges, small successes, and determination. Ultimately, while these snapshots are important, they don't determine anything. Each one is filled with moment-by-moment choices that determine the snapshot. Don't give up because it gets difficult or because it takes longer than you planned or harder than you hoped. Instead, make daily choices that will determine the future. Choose joy, choose kindness, choose humility. Choose to search and find the truth. Choose to have character. Choose to hope. And choose to learn from the past to strengthen your future. Futures that will have challenges, but I also hope are filled with snapshot moments. So as you look at the past and into the future, don't just look at these snapshots. Look at all the choices that make up this great moment, because your daily choices determine the quality of the moment. I would like to leave you with an old Hebrew blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Congratulations. I love you all.
Thank you, Ms. Tarr, for that wonderful address. I know I can speak on behalf of the entire class when we say that we are incredibly grateful that you are here. Good afternoon, everyone. My name, as many of you probably already know, is Spencer Gilbert. And as many of my true friends know, I love math. I do. I love it. Sorry. Not really relevant, but in a way it is. It is. Because I have the great and high honor this year of introducing the valedictorian of Abington Heights High School's class of 2017. And after all, isn't that all about numbers? Why, yes, it is. So you see, the valedictorian is the man or the woman who has the highest grade point average, or the accumulation of their work ethic, determination, and grit. Simply put, it's the accumulation of the grades that this extraordinary individual has earned over the last 4 years of their life through study and diligence. Throughout their high school career, this person has been watching the numbers, calculating the averages, looking for a V, no, not for vendetta, but for valedictorian at the end of the line. They have received extraordinary marks, taken the exponential end behavior, and I dare say have reached a limit of positive infinity while approaching time t equals 4 years. In other words, they started from the bottom, but now they're here. But enough about math. I understand that this probably bores you. Kind of bores me too. Sorry, math teachers. I have the pleasure of introducing to you today one of the most dedicated and intelligent human beings I have ever met. He is a merman/swimmer, an intellect, an honors student, and a physics god. He is, to all who know him, and even to those who don't, a wonderful human being. His mere carefree countenance invites friendship and kindness. This man holds the highest character and the utmost respect of those around him. I am proud to introduce him to you today. Now, it is a shame that District Orchestra PMEA screwed up his name tag, because the world will know his name. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the valedictorian of the class of 2017 at Abington Heights High School, Shane Cummings. Congratulations, Shane.
Thank you, Spencer, for those very kind words. Good evening, board members, Dr. Mayen, faculty, staff, family, guests, coaches, friends, and Abington Heights class of 2017. First, let me take the opportunity to thank all of you for being here, as well as everything you've done to ensure the present and future success of the young graduates in front of me. 3 years ago today, my older brother stood where I now stand as the valedictorian of his own senior class, thinking he had cemented his status as mom's favorite child. What up, nerd? Jokes aside, I'm incredibly grateful for all that he's done for me these past few years. When told a few days ago that I'd been invited to speak to you all, I was honored, but also incredibly nervous. What would I say? I'm not as smart as Ethan or Alex, as athletic as Ben or Tommy, as stylish as Dagny, or as devilishly handsome as class president Austin Catania. And yet here I am, expected to impart to you all some sage advice gathered from my high school experience. After sitting for a few moments, pondering what this advice would be, I came to the conclusion that the best advice I could give is advice I received from all of you. So now I will read you quotes taken from faculty and students that have been gathered throughout the year in the hopes that you will all come out of this ceremony prepared for anything the future might hold. So, let me now begin the quotes. Before a 7th grader asks a question, you have to ask if it's school relevant and school related. Mr. Diska. To test your underwear, you throw it at the wall, and if it sticks, it's time to wash it. If not, you get another day out of it. Pants too, if they stand up on their own, it's time to wash them. Dr. Stroyan. Forget the past, forget the future, focus on the present. Live in peace knowing that brontosaurus translates to thunder lizard. Jonathan Ross. Possible is more possible than not possible. Christian Stoner. Why would gravy be coming out of a cow? Kurt Murphy. Calculus is really about eating. Nathan Kaiser. People aren't flamingos. Havisha Bosch. Every time you take a picture, it deteriorates part of the human soul. Ever wonder why there are so many pictures of dead people? Again, Dr. Stroyan. Mountain Dew is like drinking regret. Tyler Kuzma. If they're older and an idiot, they're still an idiot. Mrs. Covell. Don't bring a fidget spinner to church. Max Earl. And finally, to quote our local AP Human Geography teacher, Mr. Burke, work smart, not hard. This sentence is something Mr. Burke's students hear from him on a fairly regular basis, and is something I think all of us have taken to heart. The motto, work smart, not hard, is something instilled in us by all our teachers, not just Mr. Burke, and is what Abington Heights has been teaching us to do throughout our many years in this school district. When other people were thinking inside the box, we were taught to think outside of it. When other people were going through the maze, we were taught to walk around it. And when other people were being crushed by the struggles of modern life, we persevered like Optimus Prime in the face of the Decepticons. But alas, like the relevance of the Transformers movie franchise, all good things must come to an end. This commencement marks the symbolic end of our childhoods and the literal end of mine, as tomorrow is my 18th birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. So let us relish one last time in the glory days of our youth. Let us remember our fun Fridays, our homecomings, our district championships, our music field trips, all our wonderful teachers, parents, staff, coaches, and administrators, and of course, Thomas Stone rolling into the pond. Memories will be all we have after today, both of each other and of our Abington Heights experience. But don't fret. The future holds big, fabulous things for all of us, such as going to college, the military, or the workforce, meeting new people who will become some of our lifelong friends or even soulmates, and living for the next 4 years off of only ramen noodles and Fruit Loops. What wonderful things time will bring. If I can leave the class of 2017 with anything today, let it be this: you can do it. These last 4 years have seen all of us grow and evolve from awkward, acne-ridden freshmen into confident young men and women. Things you may not have thought possible a mere 4 years ago have now become tangible reality. For example, I, a shy, quiet, weirdo freshman, am now able to give a speech in front of a crowd of over 1,000. Plus, I'm dating the prom queen. The skills you have gained at Abington Heights will set you apart from your peers in society and have prepared you to accomplish your dreams, whatever they may be. Wherever your lives take you from here, remember that you are now and have always been comets, shooting stars. So let me leave you with a few wishes. I wish you success in all of your future endeavors. I wish you friendship and strength whenever you need it. And I wish you all every happiness. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the class of 2017.
It is now the moment you have been awaiting, the certifying of the senior class for graduation. As principal of Abington Heights High School, it is my pleasure to present this year's graduates. Mrs. Hardaway, members of the Abington Heights School District Board of Education, I certify that the students before you have met all the requirements necessary to receive a fully accredited high school diploma from the Abington Heights School District. At this time, I present to you the graduating class of 2017.
And Mr. Snyder, on behalf of the Abington Heights Board of Education and on behalf of the entire Abington Heights community, it is my pleasure to accept your certification that the young men and women here tonight have fulfilled their requirements for graduation. It is also my privilege, we get the diplomas next, to be the first to congratulate the official graduates of the class of 2017. Godspeed.
Shane Patrick Cummings.
Allison Michaela Kane.
Austin Michael Catania.
Natalie Marie Reed.
Emily Sarah Marquardt.
Macy Elizabeth Martirano.
Jonathan Douglas Rickwood.
Spencer Michael Gilbert.
Jack Anthony Abdallah.
Benjamin Vale.
Teresa Emily Akla.
Sarah Edelman.
Kevin Brennan Albright.
Alexandra Lynn Altier.
Kristen Marie Altieri.
Thomas Christopher Artley.
Dylan Thomas Acey.
Nicholas James Badalamente.
Olivia Ann Baker.
Emily Claire Bamkin.
Emily Rose Barrett.
Benjamin David Basiliga.
Elaine Regan Basiliga.
Olivia Marie Basiliga.
Teresa Ellen Bates.
Bradley Joel Bauman.
Patrick Grant Beatty.
Kaylee Lynn Benedict.
Courtney Lynn Bickler.
Virginia Catherine Blacker.
William Tyler Blom.
David Brody Boweth.
Gregory Matthew Borgia.
Matthew Gregory Borgia.
Eric Scott Brickle.
Alessia Josephine Brenori.
Ray Bransford Bulls.
Leah Eleanor Byman.
Isabella Kamide.
Elizer Jaredin Caminero.
Allison Elizabeth Campbell.
Dylan Cadulo.
Anthony Robert Chesko.
Yelena Brianna Cochran.
Michael Alexander Cole.
Catherine May Coleman.
James Carrick Conaboy.
Jacqueline Mary Cordero.
Zachary Coy Cosner.
Emily Grace Crowley.
Madison Grace Cunningham.
Michael James Curran.
Raul Dalavai.
Anjali Ashut Dalsanya.
Sydney Ryan Dana.
Celia Genevieve Davis.
Ryan Patrick Davis.
Kaylee Brooke DiMatteo.
Isabella Berardi Demo.
Murphy Liam Dempsey.
Timothy Curran Dempsey.
Allison Marie Derry.
Matthew Joseph Devine.
Chandler Alexia Dorr.
Marissa Rose Doty.
Anthony Mark Duboski.
Maxwell Brownlee Earl.
Ryan Perry Eckersley.
Nicholas Alexander Emmett.
Nathaniel Joseph Engels.
Alexandra Kyla Evans.
Grace Margaret Evans.
Noah Anthony Ferranola.
Michael Robert Ferry.
Luke Thomas Feokavitz.
Carly Josephine Feather. Michael Brian Fodor.
Rachel Eileen Fruchet.
Anthony James Gabello.
Benjamin David Gardiner.
Amanda Victoria Gowell.
Jillian Ann Garega.
Nicole Marie Getz.
Morgan Elizabeth Gibbs.
Nello Cristenzo Gilardi.
Jason Tian Givignoli.
David Carlton Glancy III.
Lucas David Goodman.
Mary Catherine Graham.
Sydney Granville.
Karina Maeve Greco.
Charles David Gromelski.
Timothy Robert Habib.
Nicole Lynn Hallock.
Brandon Cole Hardy.
Bailey Maxwell Willoughby Harris.
Christian Michael Harris.
Ryan Harvey.
Peter John Heckman.
Thomas Hildebrand.
Logan Hivner.
Hannah Marie Lavick.
Elizabeth Hobby.
Elaine Nicole Hoyler.
Kevin Kwan Hu.
Colin James Hugler.
Kelsey Lynn Jackson.
Eric David Jacoby.
Jordan Lyndon Jaroka.
Madison Bailey Jaroka.
Maura Jane Jenkins.
Sarah Ingrid Johnson.
Corey Casper Justave.
Zachary Perry Carabin. Nicholas Karakis.
Evan Joseph Kettle.
Julia Khalil.
Shania Angela Kiat.
Nathan John Kaiser.
Benjamin Daniel Kuntz.
Natalie Brooke Kozar.
Ryan Leo Kraling.
George Philip Cronick.
Anissa Nicole Kunchik.
Tyler Francis Kuzma.
Heather Lee Kowalik.
Alyssa Marie Lazar.
Elijah Aaron Lightcap.
James Carey Lenahan.
Sarah Lynn Lesneski.
Logan Robert Lombardo.
Victoria Lynn Longcore.
Carissa Marie Lossinger.
Thomas Edmund Lynn.
Mackenzie Lee Machel.
Garrett Clark McKay.
Kiani Lenice Mahoney.
Kara Mia Manasek.
Seth Quinton Maxwell.
Colin Anthony McCreary.
Patrick Joseph McGrail.
Joshua Francis McTagg.
Julian Medina.
Neil Samir Mehta.
Michael Robert Merriman.
Taylor James Messina.
Wayne David Minelli.
Heather Marie Mitchell.
Jovan Ezekiel Michael Mitchell.
Anna Grace Moher.
Elisa Marie Mukovic.
Ashley Nicole Mulheron.
Daniel Webster Munley.
Victoria Karen Munley.
Kurt Robert Murphy Jr.
Noah Eugene Musto.
Samuel Jacob Myers.
Sean Allen Myers.
Yasat Haider Naeem.
Nicole Nealon.
Timothy Riley Nelson. William Ty Newman. Quentin Edward Cosner Nickel.
Victoria Marie Nolan.
Shannon Masako Norris.
William Jean Notariani.
Rohit Naguri.
Lauren Ashley Olevnik.
Evan Micah Orr.
Kyle Scott Osterhout.
Brian Michael Ostrowski.
Babatunde Samuel Oshuntokun.
Maria Christine Pacina.
Dante Umberto Paniccia.
Jasmine Serena Patel.
Christopher James Pete.
Jamie Ann Panaccio.
Leona Marie Peters.
Brianna Rose Phillips.
Brenna Rose Phillips.
Sorry. Brenna Rose Phillips. I apologize.
You're welcome. Jack Ross Phillips.
Zachary Phillips.
Jonathan Matthew Pinero.
Kayla Lee Pitts.
Melissa Paige Pollock.
Kyle Lewis Perpiglia.
Catherine Mary Pusateri.
Nathan Oliver Rader.
Brooke Natalie Reiner.
Abigail Lynn Rhodes.
Dagny Claire Rippon.
Hannah Sue Rowe.
Ethan Roman Ross.
Jonathan William Ross.
Kendra K. Ross.
Thomas Anthony Rothenberger.
Andrew Joseph Rothka.
Trevor Joseph Sablon.
Anthony Julian Salavanti.
Corey Lee Sandley.
Danielle Sanick.
Emily Corinne Scarfo.
Alexandra Kulkarni Shoyervin.
Kaylee Amanda Shira.
Abigail May Schmidt.
Wyatt Keith Sebring.
Olivia Ann Sesso.
Ryan Andrew Scheffler.
Zachary John Smith.
Ashley Nicole Solomon.
Amanda Lynn Spencer.
Eric Michael Spencer.
Michaela Marie Spott.
Thomas Joseph Stone.
Christian Brian Stoner.
Michael James Stoughton.
Ryan Nicholas Studebaker.
Chris Dongwoo Su.
Emily Abigail Suak.
Jacob John Swank.
James Anthony Sweeney.
Kayla Morgan Thorpe.
Kaylee Alexis Tokash.
Connor William Toth.
Stavros Michael Stoklos.
Matthew Charles Tully.
Jonathan Alexander Tumovich.
Benjamin Michael Ulmer.
Danielle Nicole Vilikic.
Joshua Walsh.
Katie Brianne Walsh.
Donald Joseph Wyland.
Adam Dwayne Wellard.
Marshall Xavier Wells.
And Alice Wesolowski.
Karen Leticia Whitaker.
Kira Nicole White.
Shania Rose Wiggins.
Emily Iris Williams.
Ryan Curtis Williams.
Samantha Lee Winowich.
Jeremy Robert Wambacher.
Nicholas Alexander Warrenchuk.
Courtney Elizabeth Rubel.
Kelsey Elizabeth Wynn.
Stephen Daniel Yachwalk.
Thomas Alexander Yoakum III.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Abington Heights Board of Education, congratulations to parents, friends, relatives, and supporters of the class of 2017, which now adds to its many achievements the rare accomplishment of a 100% graduation rate. We will very soon finish this ceremony and send our graduates through that gate into a very exciting future, one that will be marked, certainly, by service to family and service to community. But before the class of 2017 departs, would the following graduates please stand and remain standing? Garrett McKay, Colin Hugler, Benjamin Vale, Ryan Williams, Francis Carney, and Timothy Nelson. There's always an element to service to community and country that motivates our young men and women to the calling of military service. That calling to protect our basic freedoms continues to be fundamentally important in our dangerous world. So let's conclude the ceremony with a round of applause for all of our graduates in honor of the commitment of these individuals who have chosen to stand up and serve our country.
Graduates of the class of 2017, please stay standing. Now is the moment you've all been waiting for. It is time for the turning of the tassels. So as we turn to the next chapter in our lives, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2017.